Today's video is about Jeff Bezos and Project Kuiper, the direct competitor to Elon Musk's SpaceX Starlink. Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much once again joining me for tea time. Today we have a little bit of focus and misty morning combination. So good. Hope you're joining me with your cup of tea, maybe a cup of coffee, hanging out, talking tech, talking photo, talking video. Today's Technology Day. We're going to be talking about Jeff Bezos and Project Kuiper, a direct competitor to Elon Musk's SpaceX Starlink. Or is it? Well, today we're going to give you a little bit of an update. I was reading an article over on Florida Today, I believe it is, and they did a good job of breaking down what is going on with Project Kuiper and where they are and how they are going to compete with SpaceX Starlink, or will they? So I want to talk to you a little bit about this, give you that update, because I did a video last year, at the end of last year or something, and I was telling you about the Project Kuiper and how it is going to be a direct competitor, and I think that competition is great because it allows pricing for us consumers to go down, right? Whenever you have competition, it is a good thing. So hopefully Jeff Bezos can make this happen, but it's Bezos. Anyways, I want to get into this article, but before I do, I want to say that if you haven't downloaded any of my ebooks, check them out. Go to JCristina.com/books. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. If you are, thank you. Click this little button over here so I go live when a new video comes out. You'll be notified of it immediately. If you enjoy the video, throw it a thumbs up. That is always helpful. If you want to say thank you for all of my hard work, there's a little thank you button. You can click on that. Give $1 or $2 if you like. If not, that's perfectly fine. Consider becoming a member of the channel. That would be even better. And if you want more Starlink content, I'll put a little button over here. Don't push it yet. At the end of this video, back up, push that button, and you'll see about 270 plus videos specific to SpaceX Starlink. Helpful how-tos, tips, tricks, what to buy, what not to buy, how to do this, how to do that, but most importantly, the why behind all of it. That is the biggest thing. That's what this channel is all about, the why. Anyways, now that the housekeeping is done, let's get right into this article. It starts out by saying many people on Earth, including right here in the United States, still lack access to reliable and affordable internet. Amazon is seeking to change this as it gets into the satellite internet business, promising fast, reliable, and affordable broadband internet to consumers and businesses alike. These two companies, Amazon-founded billionaire Jeff Bezos and SpaceX-founded Elon Musk, will be competing in the same field: non-terrestrial broadband internet service. And in both cases, SpaceX has a head start. According to Jonathan McDowell, an astrophysicist at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center of Astrophysics, SpaceX currently has 5,941 functioning Starlink satellites in orbit. It's getting close to 6,000 as of today, as of the recording of this video. It's been launching Starlink satellites since 2019, and its Falcon 9 rocket, which lifts Starlink satellites into space, has become a workhorse not only for SpaceX, but also for NASA and others as well. Remember that 2019 date, all right? That becomes important before the end of this video, right? 2019. That's when SpaceX started launching their satellites. The article continues, what's Amazon's plan to catch up? Amazon is spending $10 billion to get 3,236 satellites into low Earth orbit. This is Project Kuiper, an internet constellation named for the Kuiper Belt, which is the ring of ice objects that orbit the sun far out beyond Neptune. However, this Kuiper will be orbiting Earth and much closer than traditional satellites. The mega company aims to begin launching the constellation later this year. While Bezos still owns a large share of the company, he stepped down as a CEO in 2021 to head his space company, Blue Origin. Remember Blue Origin? Enlisted in the establishment of Kuiper constellation is no other than Blue Origin. The space company is currently working on its heavy lift reusable rocket, New Glenn, which stood vertical on the Launch Pad Complex 36 at the Cape back in March. When they say the Cape, that is Cape Canaveral or Kennedy Space Center, about 3 hours north of me. However, Amazon will be seeking launch providers other than solely Blue Origin to deliver their Kuiper constellation. The company is even seeking to launch outside of the US, with 18 of their launches booked with Ariane 6 rocket, which will lift off from South America. Meanwhile, SpaceX Starlink continues to rapidly grow, launching multiple times a week, sometimes on both coasts. Starlink does not contract out, only using SpaceX rockets for delivery. So what is this Project Kuiper anyways? 2 prototype satellites for the project were launched atop of a ULA Atlas V from the Cape Canaveral on October 6th. That's October 6th of last year. And performed as expected, Amazon said. Amazon employees testing the service had said that they were able to browse the internet and even shop on Amazon.com. That's good. With 80 launches already secured, Amazon has enlisted more than Blue Origin. Amazon has started partnership with ULA, Ariane Space, and even SpaceX. The company claims that 80 launches will put into place a large part of its constellation. How Amazon Kuiper compares to SpaceX. Very important. Amazon spokesman said this: "There's room for multiple winners. Multiple offerings. At Amazon, we pride ourselves on having high quality, affordable service and devices. Where Starlink and Kuiper share similarities is in their low Earth orbit. In order to achieve low latency internet performance, Amazon's Kuiper constellation will orbit at a lower altitude than traditional satellites, which orbit around 35,000 kilometers above Earth. Kuiper satellites will orbit at 590 kilometers, 610, and 630 kilometers above Earth. Meanwhile, Starlink satellites typically orbit even lower at 550, more like 530 kilometers above Earth, according to the Starlink company's website. These lower orbits allow for an increase in speed, lower latency also, to the connection between the satellites and the connection points of users below. While Starlink boasts a 40 to 220 megabits per second download speed with their business plan, Amazon states that depending on its plan, the download speeds will range between 100 and 400 megabits. I think it's just a ridiculous statement. They have not a clue. They got 2 prototypes. They don't know when they have 100,000 people, when they have 1 million people, when they have 5 million people. You know, it's pie in the sky, in my personal opinion. To give those rates of those numbers is just, it makes no sense. Anyways, the article continues. The cost of Starlink and the cost of Kuiper. Affordability is job one for us, the VP of Technology at Project Kuiper, in a video uploaded to the company's website via YouTube, said. While they're aiming to keep costs low, Amazon currently has not revealed the price of the consumer or business class plans. For now, those seeking satellite internet have an option of Starlink, and not Viasat or HughesNet. All right, just forget about those guys. If you have Viasat or HughesNet, just dump them, all right? They're going out of business. Trust me on this, all right? Trust me. Let me get back to this. Rewind. For now, those seeking satellite internet have an option of Starlink, which comes with a price tag of $120 per month for residential plans or $150 per month for the mobile plan. Both of these costs come after the initial $599 equipment payment. So it's $599 for the equipment and then $120 for the majority of people per month. That's in the US. The equipment is what receives the internet signal from SpaceX Starlink satellites. Starlink also offers a business class or business internet starting at $150 per month with initial hardware cost of $2,500. So that just gives you a little bit of an understanding of what's going on. SpaceX in comparison with Project Kuiper, Bezos. So remember I was telling you that 2019 is an important date. The reason that's an important date is because in 2019 is when SpaceX started launching satellites. 2019 is also the exact same year that Bezos started Project Kuiper. So you have Project Kuiper starting in 2019. You have Elon Musk, SpaceX Starlink started in 2019 when they started launching these satellites, okay? Well, in the course of the last 5 years, SpaceX Starlink has put on orbit, let's say, roughly 6,000 working satellites. In the exact same amount of time, Bezos's Project Kuiper has put 2 satellites on orbit, 2 prototype satellites. 2 satellites compared to 6,000. 2 satellites compared to 6,000. And those 2 satellites didn't even get there with Jeff Bezos's rocket company, Blue Origin. They failed every time. Blue Origin, his company, has never gotten a single satellite onto orbit. They just never have. They had to outsource. They had a contract with ULA to get those 2 satellites into orbit, or to date, they would still have no satellites. Now, what really just perplexes me is, as of last year, Bezos came out and said, listen, this is our equipment. This is what our dish is going to look like. We're going to give you 100 to 400 megabits down. Everything's going to be just, rainbows and unicorns. And we're going to start offering consumers this service before the end of 2024. And I remember last year at the end of 2023, I was like, when I heard this, I'm like, there is absolutely no way. It is an impossibility. It is, once again, it's basically the equivalent to unicorn farts. It is not possible at all, for them to be able to offer any type of substantial customers service. It's just not possible. Even if they were to put, let's say, 30 satellites on orbit every month for the rest of the year, that'd be like what, 180 satellites? What the hell are you going to do with 180 satellites? Are you going to be able to offer consumers high-speed internet with 180 satellites? No, it's just not going to happen. It's just not possible. It's not possible. It took them 5 years to get 2 into orbit. And we have not seen any since. Remember, they put them into orbit like at the end of last year. Well, we're now into May of 2024. There is not one more satellite put into orbit by Bezos. Not a single one. So, in my personal opinion, the idea of competition, while it is just a wonderful thought, and it is great, okay, it's fantastic for consumers like you and I, because it allows for some checks and balances. It allows for pricing to stay capped, or at least within a certain area or range, without having to be regulated, right? So I think competition is great, but do I think Jeff Bezos has anything here that can possibly compete with Elon Musk, SpaceX Starlink in the next 2 years? No, I really don't. Forget about by the end of this year. I can guarantee you will not see any Project Kuiper before December with any customers, right? And if it is like a few beta testers like they did with these 2 satellites, and it's like, 10 guys out of Oklahoma somewhere testing this, okay, maybe. But when he said he was going to offer it to consumers by the end of 2024, it is absolutely an impossibility. Impossible. Once again, his own company, Blue Origin, have never got a satellite on orbit. None. 0. So, Arianespace and ULA are going to have to pick it up and start launching like weekly. We see with Elon Musk, SpaceX, Starlink, sometimes we'll see 2 launches over on the East Coast. We'll see 1 or 2 launches on the West Coast. It is like a multi-launch day on multiple coasts per day, per week, numerous per month. So the cadence would have to just go through the roof for this to ever happen. It's not going to happen. Now, I know that Bezos said he's going to throw $10 billion at this project, okay? It doesn't matter. You can throw as much spaghetti on the wall as you want and see what sticks. The bottom line is if you have all that money and you don't have anything to spend it on because there's only a finite number of engineers out there, all right, it's just simply not going to work. They are not getting these satellites up there. That's my personal opinion. I want to know yours. Do you think Jeff Bezos is going to be able to make this happen before the end of 2024 or no? If they did, would this be something that you would be interested in? Picking up an Amazon version of SpaceX Starlink, a non-terrestrial broadband internet service. Is this something that you would be interested in? And if you would be, what price would be that magical number for you to get involved? We know right now SpaceX is $599 for the equipment and $120 per month. What is your magic number? 90 a month, 60 a month, 50 a month? What would Bezos have to pull out of his hat for you to move from SpaceX Starlink, or even if you're not with SpaceX Starlink and you just want a non-terrestrial based internet provider, to go to Amazon? I would like to know down below. Let's have this discussion. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, throw it a thumbs up. That would be awesome. Tell your friends, family, colleagues about the channel. That would be great. Let's grow this. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools and merchandise that I've made for you over the many years. Check it out. If there's something that you like, pick it up. Support me and my family. That would be awesome. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay connected, and we'll see you in the next one. Love you all.